Hey, strangers, welcome to the Vale. You can call me Kay. Really random video planned for today, so I apologize in advance. It's gonna be a hot mess. But first off, y'all, I finished it. It's done. I have this lovely little lap blanket. I do need to tie in or sew in all of these little extra ties. So that is the plan for today, is sewing in all the extra ties. And after that, because I've been putting that off, I have been working on this lovely little baby blanket for a friend. It's got these beautiful, I don't know if you can see those, they're little pillows. They're so cute. So I'll be doing that. And then I found this amazing yarn. We went over near the Thursford area this last week. It's over near Norwich, if any of you know where that is. But there's a lovely little town. Um, and a lot of people dye their own yarn in the area. So this is called Blackberry Bush. It's got these really neat little like green sections and purple, and it's pretty and soft. So I'm going to be making a scarf after I'm done with the baby blanket. Basically, I can't control myself, and I just always have new projects that I want to start. But it's a party, and I love it. So today, like I said, very random topics for today. I tend to go on these very long, um, sorry, this is squeaky, very long research binges of various topics. And so the least recent of those is when my family and we started talking about, um, if you've ever seen the movie Holes, there's that lady on Holes who's over like their whole summer camp dealio who's evil, and she paints her fingernails with rattlesnake venom, which is lit, by the way. And so we were discussing, my family and we were discussing the logistics of that, whether or not it would be possible. And as it turns out, that you can actually eat um, snake venom. We were discussing this because if she's eating with these fingernails, is she going to poison herself by accident? And the answer is no, actually. She could eat food with her rattlesnake venom nails and be totally fine. The problem being, if you eat rattlesnake venom and you have cut in your mouth, then it's the same as if a rattlesnake actually bites you because the venom will get into your bloodstream and you'll have the same effects. So you have to be very, very careful with that. Apparently, rattlesnake venom also does not have a shelf life. Um, or it's a very, very long shelf life. It doesn't really deteriorate. It can stay the same for, the study that I found was about 35 years and it hadn't actually started deteriorating at that point. And so that's kind of neat. Venom. That's, yeah, snake venom's cool. Fun stuff. And if you want to have a really lit thing to put on your fingernails, just make sure you don't cut the inside of your mouth at any point in time. And speaking of things that cut your mouth, fun other research binge. Um, the other week I decided to look up the history of pineapple, as you do, just for funsies. And so that was my second research topic. And as it turns out, pineapple was like really popular when it was discovered, when it was brought back to like Europe and the UK. It was a massively popular thing. People were like, dang, pineapple. Pineapple means that you're wealthy. Pineapple means that you're popular. Like, this is it. And so people would like go out of their way to bring pineapple into their social gatherings. There were people who would rent pineapples to have, like, just to hold, just as like a clutch type of a thing to hold during a party so that they could have pineapple and be really, really fancy and posh. Um, and there are a few buildings. There's a building in the UK called the Pineapple that literally has this massive stone pineapple decoration on top of it because they were showing off their wealth and that was the way to do it at the time. And so there was also a massive project that went on for people trying to figure out how to grow pineapple in the UK because the weather here is not fabulous. and it's just not a good way to go for pineapple. And so there were people who went out of their ways to try and figure out exactly how they could grow pineapple in the UK and have that um, available. And so that's super neat. Um, yes, but you know, pineapple is extremely acidic and it actually does deteriorate the inside of your mouth. So I would suggest if you're eating pineapple, don't go with the rattlesnake venom on the fingernails because those two things together would be very, very bad for you. The things you think about. I don't know. Weird stuff. Um, and then I guess this one is actually less recent, but I've been thinking about it a lot recently. My brother and I decided way back to just look up a list of serial killers based on um, based on their body count, how many people they actually killed. And the most prolific serial killer, not prolific, that's not the word that I wanted. What is it? Successful? I don't know if you would count that as successful. It's not success if you're killing people. I don't know. Anyway, the serial killer that killed the most people is a man from Colombia who's actually still alive. What's his name? I cannot remember one moment. But I can tell you about him while I recall what his name is. So basically, he was a horrible human being, as serial killers are, and he was based in Colombia, and just around that area, just in a couple different South American countries. But he would mostly target young children, young men especially, and he is um let's see. Aha, yes, yeah. Um, his name, his name is Luis Garavito. Luis Garavito. Um, he was also known as La Bestia, the Beast, and yeah, he was horrible. His body count was, um, I mean, around 200 that he was actually convicted for, but they speculate that it was closer to around 300. Um, and he was just absolutely insane, as serial killers tend to be. And so he can actually, if I'm remembering correctly, he can apply for parole, or he can, yes, he can try for parole. Um, this year, actually, 2023. How exciting! Serial killers, parole. Ooh. Um, but one thing that struck me kind of when I was going down this list of serial killers, a lot of them have weird nicknames. Or not like weird nicknames, but they have these really, really like intense nicknames, like East of Russia, or you know, different things like that. And then there are just a few who are just like the guy. And so you have these like crazy nicknames, the beast, the monster, the wolf. I think there's one that's nicknamed the wolf. And then you just have like the dude from that place. And that's very interesting. But yes, Luis Garavito can apply for parole. Horrible serial killer has the most out of all the numbers. Um, yeah, random stuff. There are actually a lot of serial killers that came out of Colombia, that area. So that's interesting. Um, just looking at numbers, but yeah, if you ever want a really interesting read, go through that list because dang, wild stuff. Um, so yes, I go on very random research binges. I just love it. I'll just find different things and just go in and find what I can. And if any of my information is incorrect, feel free to, I mean, I'm always looking for more things to research. And so if I'm wrong, please give me more resources. I appreciate it immensely. Um, and if you ever have a topic that you would like to know about, I want to just give me a fun suggestion for what to do with that, or what you'd like to hear about, please also let me know because I do love, yeah, I just like to research. I like to find new things and just always keep learning. So if you have a topic, I am down for that. There's been a lot of craziness going on these past couple of weeks. I've been out of town a lot for work. Um, I will be hopefully moving into another apartment sometime this next week. Not this next week. In the next month. Fingers crossed. If all goes well, I should be moving into another apartment. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Oops. Oops, oops. Awkward. Will it'll stay. It's fine. Luckily, the nice thing is I just cut the I cut the yarn a little bit too short on that one. The nice thing is though, with handmade things, is no one expects it to be completely perfect, and so they can't really fault you if you decide to make them something and it turns out not fabulous. But the tying in strands on yarn is probably my least favorite part and also the most difficult part for me because I just get so frustrated with how everything fits together and enjoy I don't know, I don't enjoy that part of finishing a project. But once it's done, it looks so nice. And no one knows the heartache that you went through to get it to that point, so it's fine. I yeah, sometimes. But I'm rambling. Apologies. But yes, if you ever have a topic and you want to hear about it, let me know. This is a very random channel. We've covered many things today, and I do apologize if that's not your thing, but if it's not your thing, then you don't have to watch this. That's the fun part, isn't it? I'm just here. I'm just here chatting, throwing random things into the void. And if the void decides that it's good, then awesome. And if the void is indifferent, also awesome. Because, I mean, that's what we're doing, right? um, yes. But anyway, I'll probably sign off now. I'm almost done. Almost done tying these in, and then I'll be finally finished. So I'll finish that after this. But I hope you have a lovely weekend and a lovely Easter. It's Easter this weekend, y'all. That's fantastic. Um, eat pineapple. If you eat pineapple, don't eat snake venom. If you do eat snake venom, it's supposed to be really sweet. Tell me how it tastes. Don't poison yourself. Have a great day. Uh, I'll see y'all later.